This is Editor Dylan, welcome you back to What If, where we take a look at alternate universe What If and Elseworld stories from this great big multiverse of comics. Today we're going to be looking at What If Thor was the Herald of Galactus from 2005. Now, this one needs a bit of setup. During What If Volume 4, which is this one, Uatu was absent. Why is he nowhere to be seen in this run of What If? It's unclear, but in his place, we get Hector Espejo, a teenage hacker that has the ability to tap into the Othernet, which is the internet from another dimension. If you have no idea who I'm talking about, that's probably not surprising. They never did anything else with this character. His existence began and ended in this run of What If. Super strange. Anyway, let's get into What If Thor was the Herald of Galactus. Hector leans forward, adjusting the webcam in his office after managing to pierce the veil of the Othernet. He is about to watch a video on the hero known as Thor, and he has decided to film his reaction. In deep space, Galactus stands over the realm of Asgard. The Golden City is on fire, and the Rainbow Bridge quakes as he warns the Asgardians that it is foolish for them to deny the will of Galactus. "My hunger will not go unfulfilled," he bellows. Sif rallies the other warriors while Thor moves to destroy Galactus' world-eating technology, but Loki is behind him, telling his brother that they need to dismantle the machine carefully so as not to destroy Asgard in the process. On the battlefield, Sif moves to stand against Galactus' Herald, who, in this case, is a silver-skinned woman who isn't named and is never explained. The Herald, without breaking a sweat, simply turns and sends an energy blast through Sif, killing her. Anger fills Thor, and he leaps to action, pushing his way past the other Asgardians. Mjolnir flies, cracking the woman in the face and cutting her skin. The hammer beats down again and again until she stares up at Thor, defeated. Galactus then looks down on the victorious Thor, stopping his attack. As the Odinson begins to rally the other Asgardians for another assault, the World Devourer bellows for them to halt. "Your realm has provided me with enough sustenance to satiate my hunger and allow my search to continue. Join me, Thor of Asgard. Become my new herald, and I will leave your realm at once." At first, the God of Thunder refuses, but when he turns to see the weary Asgardian warriors, he submits. "Tell my father my love for him. I have not the courage to tell him goodbye," Thor tells his friends as he drops mighty Mjolnir onto the ground beneath him. Time passes, as it always does. The new Thor, now filled with the power cosmic, descends upon another world filled with monstrous creatures. Thor tries to speak with them, but they are little more than savage beasts, so this world falls as all the others have before it. As Galactus begins to feed upon the planet, he confronts his new herald. "You are finding the worlds with the most violent and bloodthirsty races in existence. You are passing much more eligible worlds while you search for harsh planets with no intelligent life, or worlds you deem worthy of destruction," the cosmic being tells him. Galactus spares Thor from punishment for he is being fed either way, but he continues to lament. "It would be much easier for you to choose planets more peaceful and ill-equipped to resist." More time passes, and Galactus stands upon his vessel, looking out into the vastness of space. He turns as a raven falls to the feet of Thor. It is Munin, one of the two messengers of Odin, the Allfather. The raven coughs out a final message before dying.
"Odin, dead. Asgard, ruined. Oh."
"I am needed. I must go to Asgard," Thor tells his master, but Galactus turns on Thor, warning him that his promise was to leave Asgard untouched by his hand, not become its defender. "You will release me. I refuse to serve you until Asgard is safe. Kill me if you must," Thor bellows at him. Finally, Galactus turns away from his herald, bidding him to take his leave. Yet, he warns him, should he grow hungry in his herald's absence, he will turn his sights once more upon Asgard. So Thor makes the long journey home, finding the realm eternal in ruins. Here he is greeted by Loki, surrounded by frost giants. Thor lashes out at the conniving god, but the giants move to defeat him. Loki tells his brother that he didn't know that Galactus would cause so much damage. The deal was that the World Devourer would simply pave the way for Loki to assume his father's throne in exchange for Thor's hand as herald. The frost giants march forward, knocking Thor through a wall into his father's burial chamber. To Thor's surprise, the Allfather holds Mjolnir in his hands. Thor reaches out, taking a hold of it. Lightning cracks, dispatching the two frost giants, and Thor Odinson stands once more, still worthy. Loki, standing before the God of Thunder, promises that he will not let Asgard fall, but he turns to see the looming presence of Galactus before him. Loki trembles. His end is near. Elsewhere, Thor moves down to the depths of Asgard, freeing his imprisoned friends while ordering Balder to ferry all the survivors to Midgard. With this complete, Thor flies to his master, telling him that Asgard is no more, and he may devour it. "Your allegiance pleases me. Now rid my sight of the savage beasts below. Thor flies down, armed with the power cosmic and his trusty hammer, and destroys the remaining frost giants. Loki tries to stop his brother, demanding to know what he is doing, but Thor has had enough of his brother's tricks. With one mighty blow, the god turns Loki into a charred skeleton. It is you who have brought this on us all. With the battle over, Balder turns to Thor, extending his hand, but Thor rejects it. He must stay with Galactus and direct the World Eater towards worlds more deserving of his presence. Until Valhalla, my friend, Balder calls out as the Bifrost retracts, completing the voyage to Midgard. As the news story that Hector was watching finishes, he turns into himself. He tells the camera that the story moved him, that it was a tale of heroics. Thor's actions were selfless. No matter how different the universe is, his spirit seems to stay the same. Hector cuts himself off as he stops the recording. Okay, this is starting to sound lame. I'm gonna start over. And that's how the book ends. This run of What If is really odd. No Watcher for one, and each one kind of leads into one another with Hector and the Other Net. The bigger reason we wanted to cover this issue, though, is actually because of the current Thor run by Donny Cates. For those unaware, Thor is actually the current Herald of Galactus in 616 thanks to that run. What If books have this track record of doing things in alternate universes only to have them happen years later in the main canon, but it happens a lot with Thor. What If Jane Foster Had Found the Hammer of Thor is a classic example of this. The main difference between the Cates book and this What If is that Galactus basically forces the power cosmic on Thor in the Cates run, but here he makes it a choice. It's a really bad choice, like destruction of Asgard or come with me, but it's a choice nonetheless. Anyway, thank you so much for watching What If. Be sure to like, subscribe, and leave any suggestions for future episodes in the comments below. And if you want to see Benny cover that new Donny Cates Thor run, it's pretty early on, but let us know in the comments if you want to see that happen too. Anyway, see you next time.